Economics video 1. This is the first of 10 videos. Step by step, students will listen and watch the videos at home. The book that they will download, they will do some work, and they will work as a team, first maybe as an individual. And so this is the beginning. The end is to answer the question in a debate: should equality remain the focus, and at what cost? Sweden is the story. And Sweden is known for its high taxes, good social programs, equality of life and quality of life from birth to death. But immigration, democracy, capitalism, they are also creeping in and creating this unbalance, and what should we do to do it? What's your solution? What would you debate? This is the beginning, and step by step we will get to there. If you have the book, put the date with your team and your teacher. Put the date of the debate at the back, where it will be, and what time it will be, to remind you that the day is coming. Not today, but 12, 13 weeks later, a debate will be made. And so you are preparing for that, and every video will move you closer to that. So let's go. Disclaimer. There is a disclaimer because all rights go to the original story, go to the author. He wrote it, she wrote it, the publisher published it and paid for it. So they own the original. The following is a rewrite of an article. So I rewrote this using vocabulary, the same idea, but definitely not what they wrote. And I put the URL there so you can also check to see how true the story is in comparison. There's no guarantee the article is maintained on the URL. So if the URL doesn't want to work, try to find the topic through the title, and maybe it will show up on another website somewhere. But the original story, the rights go to the author and the publisher. In the beginning, we want to do discovery. There are 3 Ds. And so this is a 3D learning project. Flipped learning, flipped meaning students study at home and come and discuss what they did at home. So it gives really good guidance for the students at home, gives them focus, and then they come and discuss and prepare for their debate and go back and do it again with their team or individually. This section, discovery, there are 3 Ds: discovery, discussion, and debate. 3 Ds. And this one discovers what is known and what information needs to be expanded. What do you know about the topic? And what do you need to expand your information on? So your research. It's like building an umbrella to cover the topic. Your umbrella, if it's like this, doesn't do you any good. It doesn't help you. You need to open your umbrella so that it comes over, not only protects, but you fill it full of information which pushes that umbrella out. So building a larger umbrella to cover the topic allows the door of critical thinking to open. If your umbrella is like this, critical thinking is hard to do. It has to push hard. And you want to open the umbrella, cover it with information, and critical think about all that information. Developing an argument requires a focus of information to base the initial statement on, yet broad enough to push the idea into current thought and culture. So you're getting all this information, but from that you want to make a statement. This is what is true. This is what I believe is true. This is what Sweden should do to fix their dilemma. This is where you start. You make a statement. Don't make questions. Make statement. Okay? But it has to be a little bit big enough so that you can put your arguments underneath it. And sometimes stories get old, and so you need to bring sometimes these arguments into modern days, into current thought, in today's thinking. Sweden's had this problem for a long time. And so what about today? How should we argue to solve this problem? The discovery phase requires students to present what they know. So students, you are going to present every day in class what you did at home. And you're going to have arguments, or you're going to have debates. You're going to add information, and that new information from discovery will build blocks from which to build your foundation, and on the foundation you build your house, your arguments, and your debate. That's what this is all about. Students should be attentive. Attentive means pay attention. Pay attention to what all your team members say. Keep a notebook. Okay? Say, oh, you said this, and can you repeat that? And write it down. Write down all your notes. Don't stop. Keep writing. You have 5 team members, or 4, or whatever number you have. And sometimes, if your group is large and you have 2 different teams, everybody's going to interact. Keep notes. Always, you said this, you said that. Okay? Notes are very, very important at every stage, because the more notes you have, the easier it is to find information to support them. Maybe you disagree with the notes, but still take notes. Don't take notes for things you agree with. Take notes for things you disagree with, so to challenge yourself to find support for your disagreement. Why do you disagree? Later in the series, we're going to ask that question. Why? Why is the start? So that's what we want to do. Constantly review your notes. Constantly challenge your team about their ideas. Be disagreeable. That's number 1. The team, consisting of several people, can be 5 or 4 or 3. A team is a team, not one. One is never a team. But you build blocks of information and tie it to other information. And then, as you build the blocks, you use it for defense or rebuttal. At this point, there's no defense or rebuttal chosen. But you take the arguments, and as you disagree, write your disagreements and then find support for them. That will make your debate stronger at the end. Don't always agree. Learn to disagree and challenge. Sometimes culture makes us agree too much. Learn to disagree and challenge. It is imperative, it is very important to not note there's never too much information. There is never too much information. Write notes until your hand gets sore. Make sure you can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer, you can do it on a piece of paper. Whatever you do, make sure that you can always reference it and always be disagreeable. Reading titles is where we start for information, because the title gives you lots and lots of information, and you have to decide to go through that door. It speeds research because it gives you key ideas and words. And that way you can you can copy and paste. If you find information on a website, you can copy and paste into a document and put it in a file folder on your computer. If you find papers, PDF papers, and articles, then you just download them and put them in the same folder. Discovery is where the mass of ideas, mass means a lot of ideas, are flushed out. All your ideas are in there somewhere. They're in newspapers, they're in all kinds of blogs and things, and you have to find them and bring them out. Flush out is to bring them out. Bring them so you can see them. Copy and paste them so you can remember them. And you can discuss them without barriers. So you just push them out. Speak them to your friends. Speak them to your team. Speak them to your teacher so that you can have brainstorming ideas outside of the class. And at this point, the foundation is made to support the statement. This is where everything starts. In this booklet, you find the initial story. The story is there. It provides the base point. In other arguments, the statement may come first. Here, maybe the story will come before the statement. You have to have some foundation to make a statement. And the story provides that foundation, and then you can make a statement. Other times, if you're doing a debate class, maybe you'll make the statement first and then debate. Here, you're going to start with a story. You're going to start thinking about your ideas, build your ideas into statements. You're going to write paragraphs. You're going to write lots of things. And maybe your statement will change. Your team statement will change. Everything will be okay. The story is the whetstone. Whetstone is it's a sharpening stone. When you have a knife and you're sharpening it to make it sharp, so that when you cut your tomatoes, your tomato is easy to slice. If you have a dull one, it's like it's really hard. A whetstone it's a special stone made for sharpening knives. Skills developed and used in the discovery phase are note-taking, because you want to take notes. Listen and take notes. Don't just listen and listen. No. Take notes about everything. Disagree. Learn to disagree. When you hear something, disagree with it. Say, I disagree with it. Why? If you write, I disagree with it, later you can find the why. Question asking. Ask questions. Always ask questions. Don't think everybody is just yes, yes, yes. No. Ask questions. And if you disagree on your notes, you ask a lot more questions. If you're always agreeing, you never ask questions. Disagree, challenge. That's what this is all about. Disagreeing, challenge, better questions. Critical thinking, you're going to be reading, and then you're going to be thinking about, what did I read? What does it really say? Don't think about all the vocabulary you don't know. That's not important. What is the story about? What is the key point of the story? Reading the story, reading your notes, and speaking. Speaking in class every day, speaking with your student, with your friends, with your teammates, but most of all, speaking English in class. Be ready, write out what you're going to speak, and then you can speak. You are ready every class. Next, what's next? Look over the book. Look over the whole thing. It's not very big. It's only 30 pages. And begin writing ideas about the title. That's number one. Write ideas about the title. You can see the title. You can find it. Write about the title. Any ideas. Just brainstorm. Let your mind wander and go crazy. Stay ahead of class time. So now, reading eyes, next video 2 is about the title. Stay ahead of class time to maximize discussion. Always work ahead. Always think this is connected to this, is connected to this. So if I do my homework, if I do the work at home, and then I look what's next, I can be better prepared for class. Because class time is very short, and maybe you need more time. If you're not prepared, you waste time, and you don't get your questions answered. Do some preliminary, beforehand research. Look at the title. Try to find some other stories that are related to that. Maybe a different company or a different story, but very similar style. And what arguments do they use? Always look at the arguments. Keep notes about where you find information. If you go to another book or another article, another website, another blog, always keep track of where it is. And if you don't know where it is, just go cut and paste on the URL at the top of the web page of your browser, copy that and paste it in your notebook. Paste it in a document somewhere so that you can always come back. That URL doesn't change very much, so it's easy to go back, make a little note, this is what I found this, and you can do it. If you do it on paper, then write the topic, write the headline, or write the title of the blog or the website so that you know exactly what to look for next. It's always that going back and finding that information. How fast can you do it? That's what we want to find. Thank you for this short little introduction. Next week, we're going to look at the title, and I hope to see you there.